Sometimes Forex trading is a wild and woolly place to be. That's why Hugh's here, to pose your questions to Walter, the naked Forex guy. Hugh's got questions, and Walter's got the answers. Here at the Truth About FX podcast.
All right, Walter, today's question is, my number one challenge was, and still is, trading system hopping. I cannot stick to one trading system before I finish and look at another one. Am I doomed or what?
Well, other than suggesting that you read some books about some of the most famous, and there are some very famous people who have a huge pile of money, and the reason they have this huge pile of money is because they focus on one thing. You can find private funds that focus on one thing. So there's really a power in just getting really good at doing one thing. Now, I'm not saying that you should only trade one system or one currency pair, but in the beginning you certainly should. You should choose. I'm either going to be a specialist in the pound or the euro or whatever it may be, or I'm going to be a specialist in this trading system and trade that over multiple markets. So the real issue here is probably, and this is what happens in most cases, and this was what happened to me, it probably happened to you, I'm guessing, Hugh, where you start out with a system, you get really excited, it goes really well, you hit a bump in the road, you get a little bit of a drawdown, and then you find yourself wandering and looking for something that's better. And that's really the danger, is that you're sort of like a jack of all trades, master of none, and you get to this point where you look back and say, okay, like in my case, I look back and say, well, see, it's been 3.5, 4 years, and then where am I really going with my trading? I'm not really going anywhere. I'm just sort of spinning my wheels. And the reason why is that I'm looking for a new system when my current system, which is probably a pretty good way to trade, is just running into a bad luck streak. So that's what I would say. I would say that the best thing you can do as a trader is get really, really good at one thing. And then when that thing gets really boring after a couple of years, maybe you add another thing and you have two things that you do really well. But there's really no need to have a system that you feel like is going to make money every time. I mean, a lot of traders get into this problem of wanting to win all the time. A few traders I know can win, 2 or 3 times out of 10 and still be happy, but it's quite rare. So I would say really the way you want to do this is approach it methodically, test your system, get a lot of data through Forex Tester, doing your back testing, and then from there you can look at the big picture and say, would I have made money if I traded this over the last 10 years? And the answer is usually yes. So then you say, well, why wouldn't I stick with this even if I do have 3 unlucky weeks? So really, that's kind of the way I approach it, is sort of, system hopping is the biggest danger, I believe, that most new traders run into. It's the fastest way to losing, basically to quitting trading, So that's what I would say.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think I was reading a book recently, I think it was The Happiness Advantage or something like that, and he made a point that if you do too many things at once, you don't feel in control, but if you can control this little circle, like I think the story of Zorro or something, he started off in this little circle, and you can be a master of your sword in that circle, then you gain confidence, and then you can build on that. Yeah,
that's a great analogy. That's a great way to look at it. And that's just in life. That's a great way to look at it. So I agree. That's a great analogy. Thanks for your time, Hugh.
Yeah, you too. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.